Jessica Lea Mayfield, welcome to eTown. Good to have you here after your long odyssey, musical odyssey that you've been on since you were 8 years old.
Yes, well, it's good to be here.
I can kind of relate to some of that driving around in an old 50s bus and playing bluegrass festivals, having done a bunch of that myself.
Yeah.
Was there, your parents are still out there touring and playing? This was not a weekend hobby for them. This was their deal. This was their job, right?
No, I mean, this is what I grew up doing with them was just, it was to the point to where it'd be, okay, you and your brother go take that corner, and your dad and I'll take this corner, and we'll come back and see how much money we have, and that'll tell us what we can go get to eat.
Wow.
So it was a lot of just like, the whole family kind of worked together to play. We'd play for tips, and we'd play, we lived in Nashville, and it would be like, we'd play 4 shows, 7 days a week, and we had different residencies all over town, and, it's just this little
It sounds a little...
chubby baby covered in glitter.
That was you?
Singing Loretta Lynn songs.
I bet you made more tips than your parents, probably.
Yeah, probably. I think
Yeah.
I was cuter, maybe. Had that going.
Mom, you're having cereal. I'm having a steak.
Yeah. Right. I get more McDonald's. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It sounds a tiny bit bleak. Was it kind of bleak, or was it kind of okay?
Well, I didn't know any
Yeah.
different. I didn't know any differently growing up. That I
Right.
didn't. That was just what
your-
the world was to me.
Did you wonder about like other kids who were in school and all that stuff?
Yeah, school was something that I kind of still wonder about, but it's a little sounds weird.
Well, survival is what it is for a lot of people. You got to do what it takes to survive, and
Right.
your parents had a plan, and they worked the plan, and here we are, and here they
Yes.
are still.
And while we're talking about my parents, I waited to tell you this now to embarrass you instead of when we were back there earlier. But I was on the phone with my mom just a bit ago, and she wanted me to tell you that Hot Rise tapes were playing in the birthing room when I was born.
Oh.
So that's what's wrong with me. No, I'm just kidding.
So indirectly, we've known each other a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
In utero. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we've at least established that I'm substantially older than you are, which most people know.
So, yesterday. They played me the tapes yesterday.
Let me, no, that's a great honor, and thanks for sharing that. That's cool. No, it's like I was saying before, the bluegrass community was pretty tight, and we were all out there just rolling around doing our best. Let me ask you, when you were busking and you and your brother on one corner and your parents on another, or when you're doing 4 shows a day and you're 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever, were there any songs you just couldn't stand to sing that you're doing? Rocky Top, yeah. We refused as a band to play that song, by the way.
Even now, it's like, and sometimes somebody will say something about Rocky Top, and I'll start playing it, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
I hate this. And I'm like, and that F chord, dang you.
But you eventually found other music you liked, other songwriters and other styles of music. And
It's funny, I always enjoyed making music, and during the years that I was playing with my family's band, I was listening to Metallica and Soundgarden and all of this stuff, and I kind of just was so into music that I made music with them because it was just what we all did. And then as I got older, I actually started to appreciate what I was doing with them more than I did when I was a kid, because I was like, whatever. But now I'm kind of going back to what I liked when I was younger.
a little more edgy.
Yeah.
Did you write songs when you were a kid?
Yeah, I started writing songs when I was 11, and that was just, that was around the time I kind of started playing guitar too. I had been singing, but I hadn't really been creative. I'd sing in gospel quartets and things like that with my family, but
I hear that you write down little snippets and words and phrases on just about anything, and you keep all these things in a rolling tote bag.
Yeah.
Your blue tote bag.
That's true. That is very true. A lot of people have been asking me about that. I gave away the secret, but no, it kind of just happened that way because I'm just scatterbrained, in general, like everywhere. I open a suitcase, next thing you know, one thing's over here, one thing's over there. And so if I'm writing a song, it's just, oh, there's a good verse for that. And then I write it down and throw it in the bag. And then
Yeah.
I might look around in the bag for something in particular and see something else and be like, oh, I should work that into this other thing I'm working on. And so it's like the
funny because-
graveyard of unused ideas.
But the songs don't become these sort of like ransom note songs made up of pieces and parts, generally, right?
Well, I think the thing they have in common is that, you know, they're all my feelings.
Yeah.
So I'm a very much I'm a really personal writer, almost to a fault. You know, I can't write about something that hasn't happened to me or
Right.
someone I know. It has to be close for me to
Yeah.
really, and I have to really relate to it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to write about like riding a horse in the 1800s or something because I don't know about. I don't think I'd write a good song about that.
Unless you had a dream about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't had any dreams.
No.
I'll have one tonight.
Okay. In case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown. I'm here with Jessica Lea Mayfield. Speaking of your songwriting, you know, it's funny because it does those little pieces and parts of ideas that come together. There is a theme. There is a thread that flows through this new record, and it has to do with. It seems to me you're sort of coming to terms with things that have happened in your past, and acknowledging that not everything is rosy all the time in a way that's resonates for a lot of people. It seems like.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's important to talk about these things that people like to keep in the dark. And it's not like I sat down and said to myself, "Oh, I'm going to write an album of songs about domestic violence." But it was one of these things where I wrote all these songs and I went, "Oh, that's what all these songs are about, and that's what's happening."
Right.
And now I realize that this is important and something that I need to do, and that it's, you know, it's in a way it's helpful to be someone who is speaking, you know, just one other person who's speaking, because I don't know. And then after I spoke, a lot of fans reached out to me, and they were saying
Yeah.
they were in the similar position.
Sure.
So
No, it helps. I
did.
mean, you're being very candid, and you're also, I know you posted a picture of yourself in the hospital after getting some surgery for was it a shoulder injury that was
broken shoulder.
broken shoulder, result of some domestic violence? And
Yes.
these are issues that are easily hidden or brushed under the rug or just not talked about, and you're choosing to talk about them.
Of course, well, it's easier not to talk about it. You know, it's hard,
Right.
but it's the things that are hard to do are the things that are worth doing, and it's worth it to shine a light on issues that have been in the dark for too long.
Any reaction or apologies or sort of enlightenment that's happening in the wake of your candor?
Oh, geez, I don't. Just mainly, just a lot of people are reaching out to me
Yeah.
at shows and on the internet and things like that. So
Yeah.
it's just really, it's mostly been positive.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, like I said, you're a very personal, like you said, you're a very personal writer. And people appreciate candor, and they appreciate finding a voice that resonates for them, even though they didn't have the courage to say it, that somebody else did, that makes them feel stronger. And of course, it's the theme these days, people finding their voice in ways that they hadn't before. So it's appropriate, it's timely, it's good. Congratulations. It's
Thank
brave,
you.
I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know you've moved to Nashville, or you're living just outside of Nashville. Does that feel like home
I live
now?
in Nashville.
Yeah, in Nashville?
Yeah. Yeah, I like Nashville a lot. I mean, I grew up there. It was kind of weird because I was born in Ohio, and then we left our double-wide trailer and got on the bus and parked in various different parking lots and behind other people's houses and played all these shows, and just on streets. And my brother and I got kicked out of a Cracker Barrel one time.
That's hard. That's hard to do.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of that one.
Yeah.
But, I don't know where I was going with that, but well, no. So then I moved back to Ohio, and then back to Tennessee, then back to Ohio, and now I'm back in Tennessee again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go to California or something next. I don't know.
Well-
if I move again, I don't know.
I don't think moving around is going to be a problem for you, given your background.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like whenever I think about moving too, it's like, well, I'll be everywhere next month anyways, and then
Yeah.
I'll be there a couple months later. So.
Well, listen, congratulations on finding a way to express yourself and surround yourself with good musicians and find some mentors and some partners and continue the journey.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, glad you stopped by.
Me
Welcome
too.
back, if you would, Jessica Lea Mayfield.